on Saturday, May 3rd, an unprecedented two monumental co-main events. Former two-time world champion Amir Khan versus red-hot WBA international champion Luis Collazo and three-time world champion Adrian Broner. Versus hard-hitting Carlos Molina. Amir Khan throws devastating combinations. Luis Collazo is a one-man wrecking machine. Adrian Broner has knockout power in both hands.
It's a nice left hook by Broner.
Carlos Molina is a relentless puncher.
Looking to land one more big shot, it does.
It's two all-action, all-heart, toe-to-toe co-main events in one thrilling night. Khan versus Collazo, Broner versus Molina, and Mayweather versus Maidana. Don't miss the moment. Saturday, May 3rd, live on pay-per-view.
And that's going to be an exciting night in Las Vegas, May 3rd. It starts with the undercard of Amir Khan, Luis Collazo. That's going to be a good one. Two action-packed fighters, and Mayweather, Maidana. My goodness, Dave.
And Maidana is the kind of guy that will make you fight. He's going to come right to you, so he's going to bring out whatever Mayweather has to do. And that's all this week. Michael Perez and Jorge Romero up next in our main event tonight.
Michael Perez, Jorge Romero, and there you see the tail of the tape.
Perez 24, Romero 23. Right at the 140-pound limit was Perez. The height, reach, not much separating them. So this is going to come down to execution and experience.
And let's go to the ring announcer, Joe Martinez.
Desde Coliseo Rubén Rodríguez de Bayamón, Puerto Rico, damas y caballeros, esta es la pelea estelar de la noche. México contra Puerto Rico. 10 asaltos por el título AMB Fedelatin peso super ligero. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with our main event of the evening tonight. 10 rounds for the WBA Fedelatin Super Lightweight Championship. Presented by Golden Boy Promotions y Puerto Rico PR Best Boxing Promotions. Patrocinada por, sponsored by Corona Extra, la cerveza más fina. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Y la ciudad de Bayamón y honorable alcalde Ramón Luis Rivera. Los tres jueces por ese combate, the three judges scoring this bout at ringside. Carlos Colón, Cesar Ramos, Hernando Steidel. Y encargado del ring, the referee in charge of the action at the bell, Luis Pavón. Y ahora, aficionados, los jueces están listos, los peleadores están listos. Si están listos, boricuas, dile al mundo. Presentaron primero en la esquina roja, con los pantaloncillos azul con plateado y un peso de 138 libras y medias. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing tonight blue trunks trimmed in silver. He weighed in officially 138 and 1/2 pounds. Un veterano de 32 peleas, a 32-fight veteran con 24 victorias, 21 ganadas por nocaut y 8 derrotas. El retador de Culiacán, Sinaloa, México, Jorge Coqui Romero. Y su oponente en la esquina azul, con los pantaloncillos rojo con blanco y azul y un peso de 140 libras. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner tonight, wearing the colors of Puerto Rico, red, white, and blue. He weighed in officially 140 pounds even, con un récord excelente, 19 victorias con 10 ganadas por nocaut. Solamente una derrota y 2 empates. His professional record stands outstanding with 19 victories, just 1 defeat, 2 bouts even, and 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando el orgullo de Lares, el hijo de Puerto Rico, el artista Michael Angelo Pérez.
muchachos, ya yo le di la instrucción en el camerino. Vamos a una pelea limpia y que gane mejor. Suerte.
And you heard the crowd erupt. The Boricuas are going wild in Bayamón, Puerto Rico, getting ready for Michael Perez against Jorge Romero. Perez, hometown, Lares, Puerto Rico. There was a bus, as Jessica Rosales told us earlier. 2 buses full of fans made the hour-and-a-half drive down to Bayamón to see this fight against Jorge Romero, who's from Culiacan, Mexico. Romero, Mexico, Perez, Puerto Rico, Mexicans against Puerto Ricans. Always a great fight as we get ready to go in the super lightweight division. Alongside Dave Bontempo, I'm Beto Duran, as Perez with the red trunks with the blue trim. Jorge Coqui Romero with the blue and silver. Coqui is the nickname. That's just what they call Jorge in Mexico. All Jorge has become Coquis as Michael Perez gets going here in this opening round.
These guys should be coming at each other. Forecast to have a fight with both guys in the center of the ring and going after each other and making a crowd-pleasing style of aggressive fighter versus aggressive fighter. Right now they're showing you their jabbing component on the outside.
And Michael Perez with the high school in Newark, New Jersey, where he now trains and spends half the year in Lares, Puerto Rico. He's 5-0 in fights in Puerto Rico. He just loves the vibe down here, and why not? You get that hometown crowd, you get the hometown feel, and everybody around you is pulling your way, and now you're the headliner. He said he's really excited to be headlining this show on Fox Sports 1 because he wants to show off. His nickname's The Artist. And there he lands a left hook to the jaw of Jorge Romero.
That was a good shot because he showed the jab formation and then fired the hook. So good quickness off the jab look by Michael Perez.
Michael Perez. Jorge Romero. Romero, 24-8. There gets tagged by a right. Romero has lost 3 straight fights. Said they've all been tough fights. He's moved up in weight. It's now easier for him to make the weight as he did it with ease for this fight.
And then what sets in after that is you don't seem to have the connections, and you'll take fights that are going to be tough on you like here. He may have regarded this as maybe a step down, and the guy's 19-1 with 10 knockouts and a 2008 National Golden Gloves champion. That's your quote-unquote step down after the fights he's had. And he's going to have his work cut out against a guy who's done a nice job rebounding since the loss to Omar Figueroa a couple of years ago. He went back to the drawing board and has steadily risen.
Figueroa, the champion out of Weslaco, Texas, won on Saturday at the StubHub Center in Carson when he beat Jerry Benavides. Michael the Artist Perez, Jorge Coqui Romero. Perez with the red and white. Romero, blue and silver. Filling each other out in the first round, scheduled for 10. The Coliseo Ruben Rodriguez in Puerto Rico. Our main event on Fox Sports 1. Perez has come out, landed a couple nice lefts. Another nice left. Michael Perez said he always wants to headline a fight. He's got exactly that. Looking good here in the opening round. This broadcast of Golden Boy on Fox is brought to you by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
No te quedes adentro, espéralo que se meta, filtrealo con hay que tirar a la izquierda. Don't lunge that. Take time. Throw the right hand straight first. Make them think you're coming straight, then you move it over the top. Don't start moving it from the top. Throw it straight. Slide out to your right and make them spread. Turn it. And then just keep bringing it to the pocket.
Good jab by Perez, and then he landed a hook off the look. The hook off the look. You show jab and you fire the hook, and that is how Perez got in his best punch in round 1.
And we go to the second round, scheduled for 10, between Michael Perez and Jorge Romero. Our main event tonight on Golden Boy Boxing. Michael Perez won the WBA Fede Latino title in 2013 when he beat Miguel Zuniga. That's the belt his corner was holding. Because he wants a bigger belt, bigger aspiration, a world championship belt. A good show tonight will put him into the mix of some of the bigger fighters in this division. Said after he lost to Omar Figueroa, he completely changed everything about himself. And when you lose for the first time in your career, you have to really evaluate things.
We've seen guys go the other way with that too. The first loss is such a crusher that they never can recapture the training habits or rededicate themselves the way they need to. One thing in Perez's favor is that when he sees where Figueroa has gone from that point, it's a good magnet for him. You just follow along. You lost to a very good guy, and you can possibly get yourself up in there again. And he's in the Danny Garcia division, but expects that Garcia won't be there by the time that he would like to fight for a championship.
He was knocked out by Figueroa in 2012. After that, he said he really committed and dedicated everything about his life to boxing and learning. And here he is against Jorge Romero. Romero, the 23-year-old from Culiacan, Mexico. Takes a right from Perez.
Good right hand behind the jab, and here's a good little bit of seasoning that he ties up after his opponent blocked his punch. He did not get caught with the counter.
Perez, 24 years old, Romero, 23. Two young fighters, but two experienced fighters with a lot of fights under each belt. Perez working the jab.
And because he's showing that jab and landing it, then you get that situation where it looks like a jab, and then you can quickly go to a hook or a right hand, as he does there. Jab, jab, throw a bomb.
Throws a nice right that connects and gets the crowd fired up. Everything that lands tonight by Michael Perez is going to get the crowd on their feet, which they already are. Less than a minute to go in the second round, scheduled for 10. Michael Perez, the artist, was named after Michelangelo. His dad wanted to call him Miguel Angel, said he was going to be Michelangelo. He's always been a creative kid. That's where the nickname, the artist, comes from. He takes his time here. He's in the ring, he's always thinking about what he's going to do, sculpting, crafting, creating it. So the nickname is just appropriate for him. It wasn't self-given, he earned it.
And he just missed with a big right hand, which would have done damage had it landed. It got in grazing fashion. You might look for him to get a little bit closer at some juncture in this fight and score with that right on the chin.
10 seconds to go in the second round between Michael Perez and Jorge Romero from Puerto Rico. Good action between the two.
Perez has everything going on in this fight. The big left hook and the right hand with the perfect leverage. You have your balance and leverage, and you can get two off for the price of one, which is what he did there.
Michael Perez with the red and white trunks against Jorge Romero. Romero was telling us that he studied the tape between Perez's fight against Figueroa. He said one thing he noticed is that in that fight, he noticed that Perez got intimidated, and that's what he wants to do in this fight, because Romero said he also feels like he's stronger than Omar Figueroa. And tonight's CompuBox stats are brought to you by ThrowdownFantasy.com. Draft fighters, track stats, and win.
Well, he's not intimidated so far. It looks like he's hanging in there as far as the numbers are concerned. 90-83 on behalf of Perez, 25-16 the punches landed. So numerically it's an even fight, but the better punches have belonged to Perez thus far.
Michael Perez, obviously from Lares, Puerto Rico, hour and a half away from here, has a big fan support. He's fought in Puerto Rico 5 times. He's perfect, 5-0 in Puerto Rico. Coqui Romero from Culiacan. He said he likes the Tomateros, the winter baseball team in Culiacan. But he said he knows going into a hostile environment won't bother him, because in the ring it's just him and the other fighter. Forget the fans.
It's a good outlook to take when you're a road fighter. That's important not to make that a factor against you. Hey, one thing you talk about Newark and Puerto Rico, you know, nobody's in Newark is going to take a bus and see you for an hour and a half. That's just a dynamic that is special to Puerto Rico, and Perez picking up on that and has a lot of support here. And he's doing a good job in front of his fans. He's mechanical, going to work with the jab, and his balance has been maintained. Even if he doesn't have a shot, he still is in good position.
Perez went to Central High in Newark, New Jersey. He didn't really have many friends. All he did was just go box, run, train, and do some work. And nobody in his high school knew he was a boxer. But he kept it to himself. And all of a sudden, you're winning awards and belts, and you're on TV. Everybody knows you're a boxer, as he is tonight as the headliner against Jorge Romero. two fighters still feeling each other out here through the first 2.5 rounds.
Well, there, the area is big enough that you can get lost in the crowd and try to work on your craft in anonymity. Come down to Puerto Rico, everybody knows everything, so you want to be on your game and be polished when you're fighting here, and he is.
And Michael Perez throwing some of the jabs. So he's an artist. He's almost like sculpting. You have to take your time. Here he is, picking his spots, lands a nice hook to the jaw of Romero. Good jab, lands the overhand right into the corner. Picking his spots, 10 seconds to go in the third round, and that one gets a little bit of hurt. As Romero put his hands up closer to his face after he got tagged by that overhand right. Closing seconds of the third round. And
out here, the name you put on the side.
Perez is on his game. This time it's right hand crazy behind the jab. You keep the balance, the jab setting up the right hand, delivered perfectly.
And that right hand hurt Romero, who's bleeding from the left eye, right on the eyebrow. Fourth round scheduled for 10. Jorge Romero, blue and silver. Michael the Artist Perez, the Puerto Rican, in red. Now Perez looking more confident, working his jab with ease.
Yeah, it's been an uphill battle for Romero all the way because he hasn't been able to get inside the jab, which has been a good trademark for Perez in this fight, and he has not been ruffled. So, yeah, he talked about trying to intimidate Perez. It's not going for him tonight.
And Michael Perez looks really good. Conditioning, obviously a factor, looking fresh. And with more on that, here's Jessica Rosales.
Yeah, you guys mentioned that the loss that he had made him dedicate himself more to boxing and learning, and one of the things that he taught himself was how to swim. He added a pool day to his workout, and at first he would swim 2 laps really sloppy, didn't quite know what he was doing. Now he swims 72 laps in an Olympic-sized pool, and guys, he taught himself to swim by watching YouTube videos.
You can do anything and learn anything on YouTube. 72 laps, and he has hurt Romero here. Conditioning is definitely a factor. Going the body. Romero is on the ropes, into the corner, trying to get out of here. That body shot definitely hurt Rocky Romero as Perez has him in the corner, trying to tee off. Blood coming out of the left eyebrow of Romero, who's fighting back. Gets off the ropes. Good action from Michael Perez, who hurt him with that body.
He did it twice. Good left hook to the body, then he went back to it, hurt him with the right hand, and that conditioning is really paying off for him, and he senses it now. He is pummeling that body. He is in another gear right here.
He's landed a couple of nice left hooks, working the body, going upstairs, downstairs is Michael Perez. Michael the Artist Perez sees the blood on the face of his opponent, has gone to the body, has hurt him here in the fourth round. Started a bit slow, but he's picked it up here in the fourth. As you see the wear and tear on the face of Jorge Romero. Good action from Michael Perez. With 30 seconds to go in the fourth round, goes to the body, goes upstairs, just landing the shots with ease. A big right, goes to the body, upstairs again. Romero tries to throw something with nothing behind it. 20 seconds to go for Michael Perez.
Fighting with a world of confidence in the last couple of rounds, and we're seeing him in another gear, sensing that he can go, possibly stop
and
this
he
guy.
goes upstairs, lands a good right. Closing seconds of the fourth round, all Michael Perez, hurting Romero with the jab, hurting him with the hook, hurting him with the body.
Tienes que soltarle más golpes más cerrado tú. Acostado no tiene nada. Tienes que soltarle más golpes. Cerrarte más con él.
Great body work by Perez throughout that round. That's the way to set up a knockout later. That was a tremendous left hook to the body, and it buckled Romero. And you never get cheated on your investment with body shots. They're always going to pay off. He works it here, double left hook, blocks the retaliation, comes back with the left hook to the body. He is in range with that. That is a punitive assault by Michael Perez.
All Michael Perez in that round, and best round of the night for Michael Perez. He's controlled the fight, but here he sprints out to start the 5th round, scheduled for 10. And Michael the Artist Perez looks like he wants to turn Romero's face into a Cubist painting. Comes out real aggressive. He's just looking for the kill right now.
It's there for him. Body shot or the left hook to the head.
And he's calm in there. Really aggressive, but he has that calmness about him here in the 5th round. Throwing a stiff jab.
Now you do that body work, you send the opponent a message about being the stronger fighter, and it opens up everything. He hit him with a stiff jab there that he was on the outside and had plenty of time to prepare, and he is taking command in the numbers as well. And when the punch percentage, you see 54%. When that number starts creeping into the 50% range, you may be seeing a knockout not that long afterward.
Michael Perez does have 10 KOs in his career. But a tough warrior that is Jorge Romero keeps coming. Corner doing a good job of closing the gash on his left eye. Don't really see any blood trickling down his eye in this round.
What Perez is doing here is staying on the outside, hoping that Romero gets anxious because he's already been overpowered to the body. You try to lure your opponent into mistakes.
It's been all Michael Perez in this fight. From Lares, Puerto Rico. Also Newark, New Jersey. Working a hook. Oh, that left hook right to the jaw of Romero, who snaps him with the jab, but he gives one, he takes two.
And you love the double jab in the right hand that Perez fires with. It's a perfect scenario. By throwing the jab out and then throwing a second one, you don't get hit with a counter. Then you pop the right hand in and you end up in a perfect posture defensively or to launch into your next attack. So that little vignette was classic.
Perez looking good, snapping that jab. Stiff jab that he's throwing. Romero throws a jab, but there's nothing behind it. Another good jab from Michael Perez. 40 seconds to go in the 5th round. Perez luring his opponent in. Wild swing and missing from Koki Romero. In the corner, getting away is Perez. 30 seconds to go. 5th round scheduled for 10. Perez just bouncing on his toes. Really confident in that ring right now. Good left from Perez.
Stay true to your boxing style. You don't even have to hurt your opponent to do well in a round.
Closing seconds of the 5th round, Michael the Artist Perez looking good against Jorge Romero in Bayamón, Puerto Rico. Jorge Koki Romero has been in some wars with some tough fighters. He's lost to Danny Garcia. He was KO'd in 2010 to the current world champ. He's also lost to Pablo Cesar Cano, also by KO. So he's gone up against some big-time fighters, and here he's in a tough one against Michael the Artist Perez.
Yeah, he has not been able to get over the top in fights in which he's been going against the top-rated fighters. And so for Perez to try to compare himself with those guys he fought, getting a knockout in this fight would be big.
And with more from Perez's corner, here's Jessica Rosales.
You guys mentioned that he switched gears, and I asked his corner about that and where it came from, and they said that he was just filling out the opponent, and now he's got him really figured out, and they can take a lot more chances. They feel like they're going to box Romero, make him work, spend energy, and take him. They said now they just need to box smart.
And that's exactly what he's doing right now. Thank you, Jessica. Sixth round between Michael Perez and Jorge Romero. Perez wearing the red, Romero in blue, and it's been all Michael Perez in this fight in Bayamon, Puerto Rico.
And what that reveals is that even though Romero might be ripe to be stopped, you might think, because of all these tremendous body shots and head shots he's taken, the corner and he taking a deliberate approach. If that happens, it happens, but in the meantime, box. And that's a good two-sided way to attack the latter stages of the fight.
Especially going up against a fighter, you know, that's been in some wars. That's not just go down easy.
It's so easy to get anxious when you feel like you've been successful and you're getting to a guy. But the corner says, stay outside box, let's see what happens. And that's how he's playing it.
Good body work from Michael Perez. We'll get going here as Perez is just up there, still bouncing on his toes with ease. In this round, it looks like Romero's trying to bring the action to him, but Perez able to move around. Good footwork from Perez. Coqui Romero, a tough 23-year-old fighter from Culiacan, Mexico. You see the wear on his face. Little knot underneath his right eye. He's cut in the left eyebrow. To exchange good lefts.
I think what else is interesting about the approach in the corner is, okay, here's a guy 19-1 with 10 knockouts. That means you're a moderate puncher, and they think of themselves more as a boxer than as a slugger, because a slugger would take this opportunity from a couple rounds ago and go with it. A boxer's going to say, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to get my points regardless. And that's how he's approaching this.
Last knockout for Perez was 5 fights ago in 2012. That was after the Omar Figueroa fight. After that's been decisions that he's won. Here he throws a good jab to tangle up with 10 seconds to go in the 6th round. Scheduled for 10 in the super lightweight division. Michael Perez, Jorge Romero, and Romero takes some abuse to the body.
And if you have not started following us on Twitter yet, use the handle @GoldenBoyBoxing. We have all the latest information and, of course, some great behind-the-scenes photos. To join in on tonight's conversation, use the hashtag GoldenBoyLive and let us know what you think of this main event.
Perez on the right side. Takes a body shot and then lands a good right hand. Here he's in there slugging, able to trade and trade effectively on the inside. The good right hand, he gets positioning. He got there first. They were both trying to throw a power shot, but he got there first, and that set up the rest of the exchange.
Michael Perez looked good all fight. Going up against Jorge Romero. Super lightweight division, scheduled for 10 rounds. We're in the 7th. Beto Duran along with Dave Bontempo and Jessica Rosales. Good actions all night long from El Coliseo Ruben Rodriguez in Bayamon, Puerto Rico on Fox Sports 1 and Golden Boy Boxing. Action-packed fights all the time we present to you. Good body work from both fighters. And we knew this from Romero that he might get dazed, he might get stung, but he's not gonna go away.
And even though some steam has come out of his punches, he's still coming toward Perez and trying to make it a fight. Now, Romero has the 21 knockouts in the 31 fights. So if the power element disappears, it would affect him more than it would Perez.
Romero, his idol from Culiacan, obviously Julio Cesar Chavez, said he had a chance to see him, talk to him, and he works out the same gym, Mr. Knockout Gym in Culiacan. So he's around there and he sees Chavez Sr.
Well, that's Chavez's town. So you're in it. It's like it's his world. You play in it. But it's just a great idea that you can see a legend like Julio Cesar Chavez and try to get some motivation from him.
Oh, good body shot from Michael Perez. That one stung. Good jab from Perez. Going to the body, going back upstairs. Good right left to the body. Good combination mixing from Michael Perez here. The artist is looking good here in the 7th round with 1:30 to go.
So with everything getting in, there is nothing that Romero can key on to take away. And the
Perez
body
now
shots get in.
Yeah, Perez just digging into the body. Any chance he can, he's dropping that left into the body.
You have to like what he did just there, backing up into the corner and still being aggressive. You do not want to send the message to the judges that your opponent is muscling you. So even though he was backing up, he was getting off and working hard.
Michael Perez, Jorge Romero. Perez in the red, Romero in the blue. Another good body shot. That left hook to the body has been doing work this round for Michael Perez. He's able to land it anytime he wants, and there he goes with the left uppercut. Another left hook, good, followed by a good right.
And one good reason it lands all the time, other than Romero being tired, is that he's doing it from a situation in which, okay, is it the jab or the hook? I'm not sure which is coming. And so you're stymied a little bit, and then the hook is always getting in. If you're always blocking the jab, you're not going to worry about it.
Well, he's not blocking much here in the 7th round. 10 seconds to go in the 7th. Scheduled for 10. Super lightweight bout between Michael Perez, Jorge Romero, and Perez has just completely dominated this fight.
Necesitamos más presión, Coqui, con él. Tienes que cerrarte bien con él. Tienes que presionarle. Cuando lo presionas, no te tiras, Coqui. Tienes que meterte con él, soltarle golpe por todos lados y subir tus manos luego. Fintearlo como se mete y lo agarre. Don't stand there trying to trade with him, none of that. All right? So that was perfect what you did. All right? All right? You ain't got to worry about it. That's perfect what you did. Don't stand there trying to bang with him on the rope. Tie him up and get up out of there. Go back to the center of the ring. Okay? Watch your hands. Just keep your hands up. Take a deep breath. Feel good?
Different round, a different look as Perez unleashes to the body. He did it earlier, he's boxed outside, and then he goes downstairs again. Good reach and good execution on that hook.
8th round, scheduled for 10. Michael Perez, Jorge Romero. Michael Perez said he, after that Figueroa loss, when he was knocked out, he changed a lot about his life. Said he even created a vision board every morning and every night before he goes to bed. He looks at that vision board. On there is his dream home, a $100,000 check, and every single belt in his weight division. He said he looks at that board and it positively reinforces him of what his dreams are. He learned it from The Secret, the book and the movie.
And you know what? You can't hit a target you don't set. So that's good for him. And even though the punches thrown look like they're pretty close, the punches landed have belonged to Perez. And what those numbers could not tell you, the severity of these body shots, which have made the big difference in this fight.
The body shots, and there he landed a nice right. Good jab. His blood is starting to come down the left eye of Romero. That left eye was cut earlier in the fight. Corner doing a good job of covering it up. As now you see a very tired Jorge Romero. Jorge Romero has lost 3 straight. He was knocked out, a TKO, and then it was a loss of decision back in January. And here Michael Perez just looks fresh. Maybe that 72 lap swimming is just really paying dividends because he looks really good right now.
And Romero overcoming the possibility, you know, when you lose those fights, you can turn into a sparring partner, get sparring partner mentality, and accept losing. He has not fought that way tonight. He has fought as if his career as a TV fighter is on the line, and in many ways it is, because you want to be viable, you want to get TV-type money, you have to be seen as an aggressive fighter on television.
You have to be TV exciting. Michael Perez bringing the body shots. Controlling this fight. Goes to the body, that one's blocked by Coqui Romero. Lands a good right. 50 seconds to go in the 8th round. Michael Perez from Lares, Puerto Rico, and Newark, New Jersey. Two buses from Lares made their way an hour and a half to see their favorite, Perez.
So it's a party for him. And to tag that thought on Romero, you have to be tough in television fights. You also have to win sometimes and come up with an upset and get over the top someplace. And that's been a remote thing for him tonight, even though he keeps trying.
Good left hook from Perez, going to the body. Back to what worked in the 6 and 7 rounds, the body shots. Here he's on the ropes. This one he gets hit. As Romero showing some life here with 10 seconds to go in the 8th round. Romero landing a couple shots, but Perez with the good footwork, the head bob and move is moving around as these two are just exchanging in the corner. Good action between them. And that'll do it, 8th round. As Perez just staring down Romero with a smile. So we got a good mix there.
Suddenly a fire got lit under Romero.
And after this one, our next show, we go to Sin City, Las Vegas, Friday night at the Hard Rock. Ishe Smith, Ryan Davis. That'll be a good one anytime if you have a fight in Vegas, but on Friday night at the Hard Rock, you have to get fired up. And Ishe Smith from Las Vegas and Ryan Davis going to do that for us on Fox Sports 1.
Watch that. Watch when you come back up and pop that head up. Trying to hit you with tail and push. You gotta drop that toe. Watch when you come out of here. Try to get hit, right?
Well, we talked about an aggressive idea that Romero needs. He finally found some of it at the end of round 8. Hopping as his opponent backed up and he saw opportunity and threw a two-fisted flurry to it. Some of his best work in the fight, and he's going to try to carry that over.
And Romero sensing the desperation comes out really strong in the 9th round. And our Jessica Rosales overheard the corner of Romero telling him in Spanish, vaya por él, go for him, go after him. That's exactly what he's doing here. He's just throwing everything he has, kitchen sink, the mop, whatever you got, Dave, he's got it, but there's not much landing.
And Beto, he's getting an opportunity because he saw some weakness in Perez, and so he's letting it flail away. Sometimes a fighter should just abandon his instincts and throw punches. For Romero, regardless of what happens, this is that time. You're behind, you throw everything out there, you hope that something lands.
And there he takes a right hand from Perez. The last round in this one, Jorge Romero from Culiacan has just come out throwing everything he has, knowing he's way behind on the cards, feeling the desperation, and just throwing as much as he can. Michael Perez willing to exchange with him. A good left jab from Romero.
And for Perez, a little surprising that he would go to this after being so strong and so assertive for much of the fight. This is not the way you want to punctuate this performance.
Jorge Romero was told by his corner, go after him. That's what he's doing here. Michael Perez in control most of the fight, especially the ring generalship. This one, it looks like Perez is the one who's backtracking because Romero is coming with the aggressiveness. Perez lands a good jab. Good round between the two.
Yeah, you take the two to tango concept. For Romero, you know you have to attack, and then you see Perez backing up, and then you see him moving laterally and not throwing anything, and you're thinking, I'm getting onto this guy. I am being effective right now, and that ratchets you up more. So Perez played into that by not doing anything for a while.
And the two exchanging really nicely. Less than a minute to go. Now Perez gets into the mix. Michael Perez, the artist, red trunks. Jorge Romero in blue. Goki against the artist. Romero knows he's behind. Going for broke here in the 9th. It's scheduled for 10. Uppercut from Romero lands. Romero telling us in the meetings that he felt he could intimidate Perez if he walked him down. That's what he's trying to do here in this round as he gets tagged by one, lands with another. Good action between the two fighters. Super lightweight division. 140-pounders going at it in Guayamón, Puerto Rico. Romero knew that he was in the underdog. Didn't care. Coming all the way over here. Didn't care. He just wanted to put on a show. Less than 10 seconds to go. Good round for Jorge Coqui Romero. As he's exchanging, but there he gets tagged. Good left hook by Michael Perez to close out the 9th round.
So So a good round for Romero all the way around. He's put together 5 nice minutes here, his best 5 minutes of the fight.
Hay que trabajar. Está más cansado que tú, no lo sueltes. No lo sueltes. Es tu última oportunidad. Vaya por él con todo Romero, moviendo la cintura y vivo. Es el último round.
And here is Romero pouring it on in round 9. Sensing a tiring opponent, he is motivated. He jump starts, and at the end, just to let Romero know he's not going to steamroll him, Perez sends a message at the end of round 9. So good action and a good 5-minute mark for Perez. Romero will try to do something dramatic here.
10th and final round. Romero needs a knockout to win this one. It's been all Michael Perez, but the last couple rounds, Michael Perez has been on his, could you say, backtrack a little bit?
Yeah, he's been on his bicycle. He has not been engaging. He has been protecting the lead as if somebody is tired or has some type of an injury. We saw him uncork with the right hand, but this is uncharacteristic for Perez to be, quote-unquote, sitting on a lead here. You've done a nice, aggressive job. We talked about the need to be impressive and not just win fights on television. Funny, right when we were talking about Romero trying to save his TV career, he opened up.
He's putting on a little bit of a show here in the last couple rounds. All these highlights, make sure you check him out tonight on Fox Sports 1, which comes up after our telecast with guest Jesse Jackson. Fox Sports Live is coming your way after this exciting fight. Good 10th and final round between Michael Perez and Jorge Romero. A good left hook by Michael Perez.
Well, Romero can't just walk in, but, you know, we talked about throwing your instincts. Yeah,
those are gone. Those instincts are gone now.
Forgetting just throwing your punches, and that's what he's been doing. And look at round 9, what he did. A lopsided effect for Romero in that 9th round that he may wish that he found that spark sooner.
Romero all busy the last couple rounds. That's Perez doubling up on that jab, connecting. Good 10th and final round between Michael Perez and Jorge Romero. Crowd on their feet. Yelling for Mikey Perez, the hometown kid from Puerto Rico. Less than a minute to go in the 10th and final round. These two are just exchanging, getting after each other. Gotta love it.
Not quite a tale of two fights, but certainly two huge momentum swings throughout this fight as Perez had it going his way much of the way, and Romero has owned round 9, round 10, and the end of round 8. And so if you're in his corner, you're thinking, man, if we could steal something early, maybe we would be in this fight. That will be decided by the judges in a little while.
Two fighters leaning on each other. The closing seconds coming our way. Oh, good jab by Romero. As he's just going for broke, Perez answers back with 2. 10 seconds. Jorge Romero, Michael Perez closing out the show with style. As the two warriors hug each other in the middle of the ring. A good way to end that fight as these two just went at it for the last 3 rounds. Michael Perez, Jorge Romero put on a show from Bayamón, Puerto Rico. Thanks, Carissa. For an exciting night from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. It was Michael Perez against Jorge Romero. And tonight's CompuBox stats are brought to you by ThrowdownFantasy.com, Draft Fighters, Track Stats, and Win. And there you see the difference in punches thrown. Michael Perez landing 34% of his punches compared to 19. Let's go up to the ring for the final decision with Joe Martinez.
Aficionados, nos vamos a las tarjetas de los jueces. Primero vamos a darle un aplauso para una tremenda pelea. Y todos de los señores anotaron el mismo 98-92, 98-92. El ganador por decisión unánime, your winner by unanimous decision, and still the WBA Federatin Super Lightweight Champion, el artista Michael Angelo Perez.
All right, Michael, congratulations. What was the key to this fight for you tonight?
Just do what I do best, and that's box. And keep doing what I'm doing, and it came out with the victory.
Now, you hurt him with body shots early in the fight. Do you think that changed the flow of the fight?
Yeah, here and there it changed the momentum because he was coming forward. What he was really trying to do is save his energy for the last 2 rounds, and you guys saw it. But I just kept doing what I did. My head movement, and it kept me out of trouble. And it put me in position for me to throw shots. So I just kept doing what I was doing, and I came out with the victory.
Okay, congratulations. We'll look for that Sistine Chapel from you someday. Let's take it back to Beto.
Like Hector Lavoe saying, todo tiene su final. That's it. He improves at 21-2. Michael, the artist Perez, Lares, Puerto Rico, puts on a show. Fox Sports Live rolls on. Ryan Fields coming your way with Heat Bobcats.